You waited?
Of course.
It's always a blast to watch a movie meant to be seen in a theatre packed with fans who step into theatres on the opening weekend come what may. There is often discourse online on how movies are termed as extremely overrated when they drop from theatres to a streaming platform, not realizing that some movies are made for the medium. This is not to excuse the demerits of those films, but why the sense of euphoria and celebration exists around those movies. I saw two films yesterday as I was getting over my splitting headache after Pati Patni Aur Vodo, and I want to speak about them in a ascending order of how much I liked them. The first movie that I saw was the Malayalam movie Athiradi, directed by Arun Anirudhan. The director is one of the co-writers of Minnal Murali, directed by Basil Joseph. This movie had me really excited, for it was starring two of my favorites from Malayalam cinema, Basil Joseph and Tovino Thomas. The movie is based on an engineering college where a fest is about to be organized after years of it not being conducted. Basil wants to ensure that this college festival is the rage in the city that everyone talks about, especially a possibility as Vineet Srinivasan is appearing as the performance of the night. Things go absolutely out of hand, however, as the college students get into a physical brawl against people conducting a temple procession nearby, specifically leading to an ego battle between Kutta, played by Tovino Thomas, a gangster turned traditional singer, and Sam Kuti, played by Basil Joseph, a final year college student. The pawns who get stuck in the mix hilariously are Vineet Srinivasan and Shan Rahman, both artists playing themselves and who have come for their respective programs in the city. I really wanted to love this movie because it explores one of my favorite themes in movies, when egos lead to absolute chaos, especially when one considers how Malayalam cinema executed the genre so well, especially with Talumala, but comparatively, Athiradi is a film that elevates due to its moments versus how it holistically was from a storyline POV. I must say, from the start, the atmosphere created by the film is bound to take you down memory lane immediately. Fest season in Delhi University was probably some of my most fun moments from college, especially because I was performing everywhere, and the film sheds light on this exciting atmosphere in college brilliantly, where the students are running helter-skelter, ensuring that everything goes as planned, some way also in the process developing a god complex as if they were organizing the festival alone, as if the burden of the world rests on their shoulders, and if you don't register, well, life would be coming crashing down. I kid you not, I have seen crowds land up for Honey Singh in Ramjas College in 2012, a situation that went on to become a full-on stampede. I was getting those flashbacks while seeing this movie. This is especially enhanced through the cinematography of Samuel Henry, where you feel like an observer present in the chaos and madness. You see the rumblings before the physical brawls ensue. You feel the tension on whether Vineet Srinivasan would land up for his ultimate performance. There is genuine anxiety on whether Kutta will come to absolutely ruin everything. While the atmosphere created by the film is exceptionally real, there is one thing that I just could not be convinced about. Basil Joseph as a first-year college student was tough to grasp. The man is 36 years old, and by simply sporting a mullet and braces, one can't just magically turn into a college student. Basil really has this lean structure that does half the job for him, but it was tough to get accustomed to him posing as a first-year college student. I think about this on how analytical we have become about age-appropriate roles, and how this discourse has actually, I think, helped the industry to pursue the same. But it makes me wonder whether iconic roles like Amir Khan in Three Idiots, a college student played by a man in his 40s, would be criticized if it was announced today. Basil is an extremely enjoyable performer, but it took some time for me to get accustomed to the fact that he is playing a 20-year-old here.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
The comedic gags, especially when it comes to Basil approaching Swati, played by Riya Shibu, and the way Vineet Srinivasan and Shan Rahman react to the absolute chaos happening around them, is one of the highlights of this movie. Basil talking about his civil engineering passion in the college interview, or his confusion of Swati appreciating him reading Murakami, had me rolling. The comedic gags land sparingly, but trust me, seeing this movie in a packed hall with Malayalam cinema enthusiasts who get every niche reference makes the experience 10 times more fun. However, there is a problem, and why I feel the movie did not become the home run I wish it was, and it is because it wants to be a little bit of everything. The film does not only want to be a stylized fun college entertainer where an ego battle leads to absolute chaos, it also wants to be an effective emotional tale about something extremely heartbreaking, and in the quest of wanting to be a silly and fun film and also an extremely hard-hitting emotional film, the movie finds itself neither here nor there. See, when you think about a movie like Talumala, the reason for its brilliance is because it's not pretending to be anything else. It literally translates into a ballad of brawls, and it is precisely that. absolutely mad action set pieces that keep you hooked, not only because of the visuals but the music of Vishnu Vijay. Here, however, the balancing act of wanting to be a stylized fun film and an emotional tale creates a perception among the audience that the film itself is not sure of what it wants to be. The action set pieces are abruptly edited, they don't have the zing or intricate choreography I would have loved, and the film emotionally is distant too, not really landing on its familial tale that it wanted to explore. The ego battle between Sam Kutty and Kutta took far too long to get to the point. If the characters were introduced to cross paths with one another sooner, there could be so much more scope of how they get under each one's skin. The action is rather choppy, but the fun moments keep on coming your way, making you feel like this movie had so much potential it could have been genuinely great. I mean, even Geo Baby in this film, the director of The Great Indian Kitchen, who plays a cop here, is so hilarious. Everyone does such a fine job, but a character like Tovino, who should be this absolutely intimidating force to be reckoned with, is not given the scope to be explored and presented as the force that causes total anarchy. The towering presence of Tovino could have culminated into something so much more fun, but the creative choices made in the conflict start and finish very abruptly. There are two moments, however, that genuinely made me scream and clap, and it is a cameo that made me feel like the future of Malayalam cinema seems secure, and a character's reaction to a song he has been raving about as his own, and when that moment happens on the big screen, I swear I could momentarily forgive the movie for its hiccups on the journey. Athiradi is definitely not a home run in any way, an above average experience in theatres primarily aided by the performances, comic timing, and self-deprecatory humor of celebrities who aren't shy to make fun of themselves. I had a smile as I stepped out, but I would be lying to you if I did not say I just expected more. The other film, however, this weekend that seems like an abundant case of love and admiration like I have never seen before is the case of Suriya and Karuppu. The movie has gone through hell and back, not only because of the several delays across months, but also just 24 hours before its release, getting into financial trouble with presumably the production company dealing with massive debt issues, and the release of the movie was momentarily cancelled, breaking the hearts of Suriya fans, especially because they have been so desperate for a theatrical hit that they can celebrate. The desperation stems from the fact that Suriya absolutely dedicates himself to roles. Fans and even regular theatre going audience notice this, but either due to poor script choices or fate, the movies just haven't landed in the last few years. Suriya's Rolex never materialized into a film. His best movies in recent years, Surarai Potru and Jai Bhim, both released on streaming platforms during the pandemic, and especially after the disaster that was Kanguva and the mixed bag that was Retro, fans almost assume that they will never get to celebrate a Suriya film in theatres wholeheartedly. So when Karuppu was cancelled, fans almost assumed that this is fate, but as the regular release rolled out and I finally saw it this weekend, I could almost sense and feel this vindication and relief among fans that they finally got something to celebrate. The movie, directed by Balaji, has an extremely interesting concept. What if in the atmosphere of injustice and corruption, Lord Karuppu, a folklore deity, himself emerged in ensuring only honesty and just work prevails? A figure known to be a swift enforcer of justice, an uncompromising protector, and a ruthless punisher of wrongdoers. What if he were to appear as a mere mortal? Would he be able to ensure swift justice? The storyline explores this question with the corrupt lawyer Baby Karan, played by Balaji himself. This is a concept that you can create parallels with movies like OMG, deities or gods being guiding lights to lawyers fighting for the right cause, in this case played by Trisha. The specific cases that come under such light and the transformation it leads to on Earth forms the premise of this film, that is in many ways entertaining but in many ways lacking cohesion too. I have to from the onset commend a legend like Indran's in this movie, who is essentially the emotional core of this movie for especially the first half. He is fighting a case where he wants his sovereigns of gold back, as he is accompanied by his daughter played by Anaga Maya Ravi. The court causes several roadblocks due to red tape and corruption, and the toll that it takes on this father is so beautifully performed by the Malayalam cinema legend, I was speechless. There is this sincerity and innocence on his face that I recently expressed, makes me feel he is ideal for, if ever, R.K. Lakshman's Common Man gets a film adaptation. He genuinely was one of the highlights of this movie for me. The film has a running time of 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I kid you not when I say this, it is designed so that you have zero room to breathe. It is edited where scenes take place in quick succession, even dialogues do not get breathing space to have pauses. It's relentless, and for the most part, it is effective because the movie is engaging. But when the quality of the writing takes a massive dip in the second half, this is where you feel feel like even the quick-paced editing cannot help. I, in several instances, started to feel like this movie is edited in the same manner as Ajit's Good, Bad, Ugly. It's relentless and it just never stops. When Karuppu is dealing with Indran's and his daughter's case, you feel a personal emotional connection to the characters and what they are undergoing. But when the movie shifts to other cases and a more holistic transformation of humanity in general, and for the culmination of a just society, it somewhat loses track of its original purpose. I mean, there were gags that generated crickets, especially when the gangsters being questioned in court were 4 people called Stone, Cold, Steve, and Austin. I almost did a double take and wondered, am I in a Farhad Samji movie right now? But thankfully, such moments are fleeting. It is the presentation of Suriya that truly made me clap and conclude that the art of hero's entry is when it appears when the film needs it. It's not just handed over on a platter. The wait needs to be worth it, and RJ Balaji does this brilliantly with Suriya, presented with some zany and interesting CGI work. I can't tell you on how deafening the noise was in theaters, and Suriya does his part perfectly. He looks like $1,000,000, he has a swagger that is unmatched, and you feel the presence of a deity who can change the fate and tide of the Kalyug humans are dealing with. I would have liked for the action set pieces to be edited a little more smoothly, primarily depended on money shots versus a seamless choreography. I mean, you can see the clear inspiration of Salar in one frame especially. Even if one is dealing with a deity in this film, the choreography of the action set pieces can be a little more immersive. The film also blinds you in instances with these flickering lights when the entire screen is consumed with the color red, and I believe the action scenes, well, could have been better designed. I also felt like Trisha, while dealing with the day-to-day activities in court, was convincing, but when engaging in theatrics of celebrating the massy appeal of Suriya, was slightly overbearing. Peak Sambhavan loading being said as a dialogue is extremely cringe, as that becomes something for fans to say, and being in on the celebration of the hero and literally saying what Twitter or Reddit may say feels, well, quite odd. The factor that genuinely makes this movie a blast in theaters despite its hiccups is Sai Abhyankar's music. The man almost ensured that the theater experience is a festival, and I kid you not, it's exemplary on what an atmosphere he creates in this movie. A true celebration of Surya's star presence that fans were craving for. There are many conspiracies on Sai being an industry plant and how he is getting so many opportunities so fast, but the man is delivering, so I don't think there is any case of complaining. Karuppu is far from perfect. It is so Atlee and Shankar coded with its themes. It's exactly like Good, Bad, Ugly with its editing pattern, and I feel like fans know this but still feel, despite its problems, it was a blast. The massy elements in this movie, with several callbacks to Surya's own filmography, often come in the way of the storytelling, but I realized that this was RJ Balaji's purpose too, to create something that Surya fans will finally get to rejoice and celebrate in theaters. I mean, there are tunes from Surya's own Jai Bhim, so many digs on the observations of the Tamil film industry and its celebrities that you feel like the gags and set pieces have been created for the theater reaction versus moving the story forward. The dip in storytelling is undeniable after the interval. I kid you not, till the interval, I thought this was going to be possibly one of the best commercial films I have seen in several months. But the loopholes of Karuppu's powers and their jurisdiction and the way the film aimlessly progresses forward does make you feel it's a good attempt that slightly falters in exchange for theater moments. And I quickly clocked and reminded myself that this sense of euphoria and celebration is exactly what fans of Shah Rukh Khan felt when he returned to the big screen with something that people could celebrate in packed halls in 2023. The hiccups and problems in storytelling were undeniable, but the moments of celebration almost papered over the cracks, making the wait so worth it. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Athiradi and what you thought about Karuppu. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handles are right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.